I actually started probably about 12 years ago just recording my story, which I think everyone should do, for my great-grandchildren, because for some reason I just started thinking about the fact that I never met my grandparents. And the history that I gathered from my mom, I wish that I would have asked her more. I wish I would have investigated more. 2025 is a big year for me. It's a doozy. I mean, literally launching Sacred in retail, the tour, Cowboy Carter tour, and the launch of my book all in the same week is a lot. So 2025 is a big, big year for me. And I just want to, keep living life to the fullest. And this book is a new adventure for me. I'm doing great, cancer-free, feeling great, and just feeling very incredibly blessed that, God allowed me to find that early. Well, I struggled with whether I would share that journey because I'm very private, but I decided to share it because I think it's a lot of lessons in it for other women. I wanted to make sure that they knew how important it is not to slack on your mammograms, because you don't have to let this, we can catch cancer at stage 1 or even stage 0. I didn't know that there was a stage 0. I could have caught this at stage 0 if I had not missed my mammogram, but I did because of COVID. And they told me they would call me. They canceled my appointment and told me they would call me, and that was in 2022. And I didn't go. And as a result, it was stage 1. It could have been stage 0. So you have to go get your mammograms. And that was a lesson in that. And it was also just the fact that after the surgery, I feel like I'm the healthiest I've been in a long time because I'm very focused on what I eat and taking care of myself. People kept approaching me about a book, and I was like, no, I don't want to write a book because they're going to want to know all my kids' business. They're not going to be interested in me. It was just time now because there's something about turning, I was actually 69 when they approached me about the book again. And I started writing it. It wasn't supposed to be a memoir. I was going to do a behind the scenes type thing, with Destiny's Child and just with the entertainment industry. And when I started telling the story and listening back to my, what I had recorded, I was like, it's time to do a memoir. Because I want to leave that legacy for my kids, but I also want to encourage young people and older people and for people to go and record their parents and get those stories. I didn't have to make a lot of phone calls because I'm a storyteller. So, all the stories of me as a child, my brothers and sisters, they recall all of my transgressions when I was a little kid because I was always in trouble. That's why they called me Badass Teeny B, which was not a term of endearment back then. It is now, but they have so many stories of me. And sometimes, I know with the nuns, I remember everything razor sharp clear. They told me that they would break my spirit, and I decided, at 5 years old, that they were not going to break my spirit. And, it sounds far-fetched, but it's the truth. I had so much fight in me. I don't know where it came from, but I had fight from the age of 5. I became a warrior. We were harassed by the police for years, and it kept you like on guard all the time. My mother could never really relax knowing she had 3 sons. She had 4 sons, but one was much older, but 3 sons that were driving to work and driving to school and me. And she would always say, Teeny, something bad is going to happen because your mouth is too smart. You got a big mouth, you don't know how to shut up. So the fear that they felt and the anxiety that they felt and the overprotectiveness was all from that experience because, they could have killed my brother. We thought he was dead. So that put a damper on my family forever, really. Giving birth changed me from Badass Teeny B with the big mouth to someone who was a lot more cautious and a lot more responsible. It can, with having a child, I had issues and I was very rebellious. But when I had a baby, I said, that's going out the window. I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to make it through this, and I'm going to be the best mother. I'm not going to screw this up because, I screwed up some stuff. So it changed me completely. I became this ultra responsible person. I always looked at my kids very differently. They have very different personalities. And the one thing, one of the most important lessons that I got from my mom is my mom treated all of her kids, I won't say she treated them differently, but she saw what every kid needed. Like my brother, I have a brother, Larry, and I was always kind of jealous of him. So I was always like, gosh, she just likes him so much more than she likes me. But what it was is my mother realized that my brother needed her more and that I was going to be all right because I was tough and I was going to talk back and I was going to get my way in some way. But she taught me that each child was different and an individual. So I've always treated my kids, and I raised Kelly from like 11, and Kelly and Beyoncé and Solange had all three totally different personalities. So I couldn't lump them into one category, and I always spent time with each one of them separately so that they could feel special. It just came naturally to me because that's what I saw when I was growing up. I had such a huge family, and in my family, although my parents weren't the parents that said, oh, you could be anything you want to be, I never heard that. I never heard that. I heard get you a good government job and, settle for less, basically. But on the other side of it was that because your family is everything. As long as you got your family, as long as you got God first and you got the church and you got your life is amazing. And so I think the balance of that and the anger that I had, because I didn't have people always saying, you could be whatever you want to be. Oh my God, the sky is the limit. I did that with my kids every day because I didn't get it when I was a kid. But I think the other side of it was that my mama balanced it with your family is, as long as you got family, it doesn't matter how poor you are. It doesn't matter how racist the world is. You got each other, you got your family, it comes first. And that was the balance. So it's why I can be who I am now with an open heart.
Thinking of your mom and thinking of her looking down, if you had her ear right now in this moment with this book, what would you tell her?
That all the best parts of me came from her. They really did. All the creativity, all the love, all the faith in God, the things that have got me through this life came from my mom. And I'm living off of my mama's prayers. I know I am. And my children are living off of my prayers. And hopefully their children will live off of their prayers. So I would just say, Agnes, you did really good. Beyoncé and Solange had taught me to be fearless and to take a compliment. I'm going to tell you, that's one of the biggest things that Beyoncé has taught me is to just take a compliment and say thank you and not, oh, I didn't have time to do my hair right, or oh, because that was what I was taught to do as a kid. So it carried through my life that if somebody gave me a compliment, I had to disqualify the compliment. So she taught me how to have a compliment, and Solange has taught me how to just be fearless about dressing. And I wouldn't have ever put on something like this earlier, but she's like always saying, Mom, go for it. Stop wearing a black suit every day. Like, go for it. They, walk to the beat of their drums. And so that's how we have, managed. My son-in-laws are wonderful. And I've just had the best relationship with them. They're protective. They protect my daughters. They love my daughters. They're great fathers. So I have a great relationship with my son-in-laws. I'm grandma. I love them calling me grandma. I never wanted to. I mean, I have friends that are like, oh, no, they're not calling me grandma. I love being a grandma. You know, I am blessed enough to have kids that are great mothers. And so as a grandmother, I get to go and visit and spend time with my grandkids and give them the most noisy toys and all the stuff that, they did to me, and give them back, and still have the freedom to go. And if, something goes wrong, I don't have to take the blame for it. So it's the best job. I mean, it is amazing for me to be a grandmother. It's the biggest joy. I'm close to all of my grandchildren and also Kelly's kids too, Titan and Noah. And, I haven't had as much experience with boys because I raised girls and I was always around a lot of girls. But I have special relationships with each of them. And they're all unique and different. And like my mom, I see them all having different personalities and different needs. And so it works out really well for me. I'm close to all of them in my own way.
I want to talk about fame and the impact that has on a family. You say specifically about just the rumors about Beyonce's first pregnancy with Blue and how you can feel in the words how much that pissed you off.
Yes.
Navigating that as a family under the glare, what was that like?
My family is so precious to me, and babies and children are so precious and so sacred. And to hear people say the most horrendous things and to call my whole family a lie, because we would all have to be part of that conspiracy and lie about something so sacred. It was one of the worst times of my life because I couldn't say anything. My daughter was saying, no, because, I don't want them, you're just going to make the story bigger. So don't say anything, it's going to go away. But it didn't go away for a long time. And it's one of the most painful things for me to know that, that people could just be that disgusting. I deal with lies all the time. I'm dealing with lies now that I'm having to have an invisible zipper at my mouth to talk about things now because there's always these crazy rumors that are out there, and people just get to lie, and they don't have to suffer any consequences. It's very sad. But that was a very, very, very trying time for me.
Is Miss Tina dating?
I am spending time with a friend. Yes, very nice gentleman. We'll see what happens. I was very bad at balance. I was very bad at taking time for myself, and but when I got to be around maybe 50, I started doing that, and when I got divorced at 59, I absolutely, was for the first time just all about, not all about, but like a lot about nurturing myself and healing myself. I think my journey has been filled with so many obstacles, so many hardships, but it's also been filled with tremendous amount of joy, love, laughter, dancing, making women feel beautiful. That's been a huge part of my journey. Encouraging people, loving people, being a mama. I mean, being a mother, it's been the best part of it. I have to say, the best part of my life. Being a wife at times, traveling. Oh my God, I just have had such a full life. I've met the most incredible people, famous and not famous, and had, a house full of siblings and nieces and nephews, and my Johnny and my fashion and my, God, I mean, I don't even know how to encompass my whole life. It's been a roller coaster, but it's been amazing, an amazing ride. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.